In the freezing void of the North Atlantic, where fog swallowed ships whole and every gust of wind carried the sound of war, one moment in 1943 became a turning point in the Battle of the Atlantic, when an Allied convoy outsmarted dozens of U-boats. The world depended on convoys carrying fuel, weapons, food, and raw materials to Britain, yet these slow merchant ships had to cross waters crawling with German submarines that hunted in coordinated wolf packs. For months, the U-boats dominated the sea, sinking so many vessels that Britain feared starvation. But this convoy, escorted by a battle-hardened screen of destroyers, frigates, and corvettes, was about to defy all expectations. As they entered the dreaded Black Pit, beyond the reach of Allied aircraft, dozens of U-boats began shadowing the formation from every direction. Their commanders believed they had the convoy trapped. Storms raged, visibility disappeared, and the ocean turned into a roaring battlefield of waves that slammed against steel hulls. To the Germans, it looked like the perfect moment to strike. But the convoy's escorts were ready. Instead of holding predictable patterns, they executed sudden zigzags, shifting speeds to throw off torpedo solutions. They deployed floating radar decoys and towed noise-making gear to confuse sonar. They monitored every tiny radio signal using new HFDF technology that allowed them to triangulate U-boat positions the moment a transmission leaked. At night, when the wolf pack surged in, hoping to attack from the surface, the escorts unleashed a brutal counterattack, searchlights slicing through the darkness, depth charges roaring underwater like thunder, and destroyers racing at full speed toward periscope sightings. Several U-boat captains later recalled that they felt hunted instead of hunting. Torpedoes fired in desperation missed their targets because the convoy changed course at the perfect moment. One submarine was forced so deep that its hull buckled and gauges shattered. Another tried to retreat but was caught on radar and hammered by depth charges until it was crippled. The merchant sailors, many of them civilians with minimal battle experience, held their positions through sleepless nights, icy winds, and the constant fear of explosions below. Yet discipline never broke. The convoy stayed tight, refusing to give the wolf pack isolated targets. In the chaos, the escorts coordinated flawlessly, one ship chasing a sonar echo, another dropping patterns of charges, another rushing to block an incoming submarine from reaching the freighters. Every move was timed, rehearsed, and delivered with deadly accuracy. By dawn, the U-boats realized the impossible had happened. Instead of overwhelming the convoy, they had been forced into retreat. Their torpedoes were spent, their crews exhausted, and their wolf pack scattered. The Allied ships sailed onward almost untouched, carrying their precious cargo toward Britain's shores. This stunning victory sent shockwaves through German naval command. The myth of the unstoppable U-boat was shattered. What saved the convoy wasn't just technology, it was human resilience, tactical intelligence, and an unbreakable chain of teamwork stretching from the bridge of a destroyer to the deck of a tiny merchant ship. In a war defined by machines, this moment proved that courage, coordination, and ingenuity could change the entire direction of history. It marked the beginning of the end for the wolf pack era and showed the world that even in the darkest waters, hope could outsmart fear.